Hi, my name is Karazim Isaimi. My match number is 06DPR30F1032.
Hi, my name is Anil Kamtiazan with match number 06DPR20F1002.
Hi, my name is Prisha with the matrix number of 06DPR20F1059.
Hi, my name is Laijud and my metric number is 06DPR20F1047.
Me and my teammate will present about dynamic and dilemma of workplace trade union reform in China, the case study of the Honda workers' strike. This study assesses the possibility for and obstacles to workplace trade union reform in the new socio-economic and policy framework based on a true case study of the China Honda workers' strike in 17 May 2010 and its subsequent development in 2011. The authors contend that by taking part in collective battles is a new generation of reasonably educated China migrant workers has grown more aware of their rights and member of associations. The All China Federation of Trade Unions ACFTU has come under political pressure as a result of advantage effective trade unionism and laid the groundwork for democratic union representation in the workplace. However, the lack of outside backing for employees' unionization activities is the greatest obstacle to effective workplace unionism. However, due to their bureaucratic, neutral and structural integration into the patron-client relationship between the local state and the global capital, local trade unions at the town, district and the country levels are unable to uphold their legal obligation to serve workers' organization needs. In addition, the political group sticks to independent labor organization makes it difficult for civil society to support workers. Due to this dilemma, the highest trade union federation is being pushed to take an active action to support government wage negotiation and reform workplace unionization. The Pearl River data city of Woshan, where Honda Auto Parts Manufacturing Ltd. (CHAM) employees did a strike beginning on May 17, 2010, gaining both domestic and international attention, including that of the New York Times, which misconstrued the strike as an attempt by employees to form a independent trade union. Since the 1990s, Honda has opened 4 locations in China. One such brand that makes transmission is CHAM. It was established in 2007 and is fully owned by Honda. Since the company's founding, all of its employees has been chosen through an internship program from a select group of technical colleges, JISHUA, and the technical institution typically require final year students to complete a 1-year internship in an industrial group. About 80% of CHAM employees were interns at the time of the workout, and only 20% were formal employees, according to workers. The bargaining strength of CHAM employees is comparatively higher than that of employees in other low-skilled import-oriented businesses. First off, the production of gearboxes is critical to the creation of automobile, and car manufacturers typically view political stable and strike-free nation as the most suitable location for this reason. Therefore, it will be difficult for newcomers to swiftly replace charm employees. Second, Honda in China has embraced the just-in-time and zero inventory system, so they only store a small amount of stock similar to many Japanese automakers. The chain workers' strike undoubtedly disrupted to the delivery of transmissions, which will typically run without a hitch.
I will continue the development of the strike. The demand made by the Honda workers are a wage increase to CNY 800 for all workers and democratic reform from the trade unions. There are two of demand that were made until they launched a large-scale strike that attracted the attention of the other trade unions. The strike involved 1,800 Honda workers and lasted for 17 days. It was started by employees from the Transmission Assembly Department, but quickly split to and was supported by employees from other departments. Instead, it used the threat of filing two activities but had actually already resigned before the strike. The activity encouraged students, trainees to sign a document of commitment that they would not lead the organization and participate in any strike, and mobilized teachers from technical school to persuade workers to return to work. The company submitted two proposals for salary increases, but the workers rejected them because they were far below their wage demand of 800 yuan. The Enterprise Trade Union does not side with them, but instead support the management. Workers say it is disappointing that many unions fail to represent workers. The union's failure to present was further manifested by physical confrontations between people claiming to be union members. On May 31, the workers resumed after meeting the CEO of CHARM and the CEO of Konki Honda Automobiles. However, about 40 workers refused to work and gathered in the factory area. The workers told us that the company management and the rear police station outside the factory witnesses how the strike was beaten by 200 people mobilized by the city and county labor trade unions, namely Shenzhen City and Nanhui County, but they did nothing to intervene. Officially, sources did not declare where the 200 unions came from, but reliable sources said that they were mobilized by the local government. This incident became a turning point after which the company and the trade union experienced greater pressure and sought to resolve the dispute again through Suruhanjaya Initiative. On 1 January, hundreds of workers gathered near the factory gate. The CEO of Quinky Honda Automobile asked the workers to choose their own representative and promised to negotiate within 3 days. 16 representatives were selected and participated in the pre-negotiation on June 3 in the afternoon. And from another negotiation on June 4, the two sides have reached an agreement to raise workers' wages, namely 32.4% and 70% for trainers, and the company refused to discuss workers' demand to reform the company's trade unions democratically on the grounds that it should not interfere in matters related to trade unions. Now I will pass this presentation to the next presenter.
For the uniqueness-wise, the degree to which the workers' demands are coordinated and persistent, the substance of their demands, and the impact of the strike far exceed that of earlier instances of strike action. There are two main explanations for this, which is, first, CHRM employees are better organized and have an increased sense of unfairness. They considered it exceedingly unjust that there was such a large gap between the Japanese staff and the student interns at the company, even though their pay was over the legal minimum wage. They almost all have a technical school degree, thus they are also relatively highly educated. Workers in other low-skilled industries who typically have just completed junior secondary school or even less education stand in opposition to this. QQ, a popular instant messaging program in China, is a crucial tool for worker coordination and communication. They have established a variety of QQ groups where employees can talk about their resistance movement. The fact that employees may access these groups even on their mobile phones not only make it more cost-effective but also can speed up communication. The second factor contributing to distinctness of strike is the strong external support from local and international civil society. In addition to Professor Chang's support, more than 70 local and international scholars signed a combined petition in favor of the workers' demands. Honda has to be told to quit punishing and dividing its workforce and to give in to their valid requests. The firm and the local government were under some pressure from the civil society when this petition was released the day before the negotiation. More significantly, it increased employee confidence and morale. In addition, numerous labor NGOs and trade unions from Hong Kong demonstrated their support by holding demonstrations against Honda in Hong Kong. They kept the world informed about the strike, and Globalization Monitor, a Hong Kong NGO that focuses on the detrimental effects of globalization on labor in China, started a global signature campaign to enlist support from other nations. For the wage negotiation and trade union reform, this would be 1 year period of strike. On 2010, Wang Yang, the Guangdong Province Secretary of the Chinese Communist Party, highlighted that workplace trade unions should act as workers' representatives and assist in defending employees' rights in accordance with the law while managing collective labor issues. Furthermore, Mr. Kong Xiang Hong, Deputy President of the Guangdong Provincial Federation of Trade Unions, affirmed that the democratization of Chinese trade unions will be quickened so that members could choose their own president in the near future. He also stated that 10 factories, including the Honda factory in Foshan, would implement a pilot program for the democratic election of workplace trade unions and the necessary training. From September to November 2010, Chang coordinated union elections at all levels, from the department to the plant, with the active involvement of the GDFTU. On 2011, from 25 February to 1st March 2011, almost a year after the strike, wage negotiations took place between the trade unions and the management in Chang.
I will explain the incident's impact in the automobiles industry. First, it will effect strike on the car industry and other industry as was remarkable. Effect of the Cham workers' strike on the car industry and other industry was remarkable. According to a Guangzhou Federation of Trade Union official, a strike took place from 20 June to early July in 4 automobile spare factories in the Nansha district of Guangzhou City. One of them occurred in a Honda supply factory. And the second, on 25 June, 4 days after the strike started, a written agreement was reached between representatives of the workers and the management. Workers' monthly wages were to increase by 550 China yuan, and a bonus equivalent to 4 months' salary was granted. And the last is causing all the workers from the Honda factory in other areas to go on strike and demand a pay raise. Almost at the same time, workers from other Honda supply factory in Zhongshan, a city next to Foshan, also staked a strike requesting similar wage increase and enterprise trade union reform. And also impact for the wider labor relation. The first is issue the document entitled Further Strengthen the Building of Workplace Trade Union and Give Them Full Play. On 5 June, the AACFTU issued a document entitled Further Strengthen the Building of Workplace Trade Unions and Give Them Full Play, which advocates the election of workplace trade union communities in accordance with the law and the law of workplace trade unions in ensuring effective implementation of the labor code. Trade union law and the labor contracts law in enterprise is it also emphasizes workers' right to information, participation, expression, and monitoring in workplace trade unions. And the next is CCP Secretary and GDFTU Chair urge for workplace trade union democratization. This was also the context in which Wang Guang, the CCP Guangdong General Secretary, and Kong Xianghong, the GDFTU Deputy Chair, make the speech that would urge for workplace trade union democratization. And the last is central and local government have sought to introduce a legal framework for collective bargaining in the workplace. At least 13 provinces have issued documents in the name of the CCP branch committee or the local governments to promote collective wage consultation. And next slide for the last is the conclusion of this incident. Have to, which is this reflect an advancement of the consciousness of association right, as has been elaborated. CHAM workers have consistently demanded the reformation and erection of the enterprise trade union communities during and shortly after their strike. This reflects an advancement of their consciousness of association right. And based on the analysis of this important case as well as its future development and wider impact, we conclude that the bottom-up pressures from workers and the external support for workplace trade unions are two important conditions for the promotion of effective trade union reform and collective bargaining in China workplace. The first condition shapes the dynamics of the current trade union reform as the ACFTU and the party state feel increasing pressure imposed by new generation of migrant workers who have rising consciousness and organization skill. The second condition puts the ACFTU and the party state in a dilemma when handling workplace trade union democratization due to their opposition to civil society's intervention in workplace organization. And that's all from our group, and thank you for listening.
Thank you
Thank
and
you.
bye.
Bye.